Welcome, Warriors. Another episode of Vigor Warriors 2. We're back with the 1% Club. Hope you guys had a nice weekend and still on your purpose, on your goals. I'm approaching 500 tomorrow. Monk mode 25 days. So we're moving ahead, and I'll probably do a reflection tomorrow. But everything is good. No problems at night like I did a couple nights ago. So we're continuing along with that. And so I just wanted to kind of keep you updated on that kind of stuff too. So we're all good. Keep moving ahead, my friends. Keep going ahead, getting yourself stronger and stronger. And this channel really is devoted for those people who want to become better. And I see we're getting a little more of a female population, so welcome. Like I said, I am not in a position to judge anyone, and obviously I go by my experiences of things that I do. So males, females, everyone is welcomed. Whatever information you can get that I can help you with. I'm obviously a male, so I have to kind of present my point of view on things and what I've seen. But I've done a lot of years of research. I've taught and was a administrator for many years at the college level, at the high school level as well. And so I'm kind of also on different types of journeys and doing a lot of spiritual research, a lot of reflection on things. So I kind of provide 60 years of experience. So I give you what I get, and hopefully it'll help you guys. So subscribe, like, and comment, and we're going to focus on things that you guys want to talk about, and that's kind of why I'm here. So this one is a question from students, and we talked about dating situation. I'll move my camera a little bit here. And we talk about dating situations, and here's a question that we talk about: do you give people, in this case it was from a male, do you give her a second chance? So let's kind of delve into this a little bit and kind of see what we can kind of find and think about. All right, so here again, when we focus on looking at your life, and I focus on my life, the key to this is your goals. What do you really want to accomplish? And for some of you younger viewers out there, the key is, guys, what do you want to accomplish? This is the key. And females the same way. What do you want to accomplish? And I guess that's kind of the basis of where you start at. Because a lot of people now I see, are doing a lot of things with dating around, high body count, all this kind of stuff that we see. And what is the real purpose of that? Now, if you're trying to get short-term gratification, let's go back to that issue and realize that's not worth it. And this is what I've realized after all this time, that it really ends up hurting you and draining you more. So if you're on your purpose, on your goal, that is not that important anymore. And because that's not that important, now I can look at relationships a lot more open and honestly and realize, do I really want this relationship? And so what you do in your mind is you put down a list of positives and negatives, or costs and rewards. I'm a business person, so to me, costs and rewards are something you could put down. And you can realize what is all the benefits of this person you're with. And this is male or female, it doesn't really matter, right? And so you may look, I remember one example that I had of a person I was working with, and he was listing all the negative things. And I said, well, why are you still with this person? Why are you still with her? And he said, well, she's good looking. She's hot. So that one thing balanced everything out. And you have to kind of put those weights to those variables as you look at this. But the idea, guys, is that you have to have some goals of what you want, right? If you want to get married, if you want to have kids, if you want a family, then you're going to have to kind of find people and find someone that you want to do that with. And that's the key. Which brings us back to the question of, do you give her a second chance? Well, and we can also turn this over to this guy's a second chance as well, because there's a lot of things out there that people talk about. Now, I am not, as a warrior, my friends, long-term warrior, I am not here to get mad at people. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that. It's happened to me. I admit, got upset with a football game yesterday. I shouldn't have. And so I admit that I made a mistake last night. Watching a crazy football game when people, to me, are not that smart in what they're doing out in the field. but then I should have done that. So it was a mistake. But you should not be getting angry, right? You should not be getting upset. And so the bottom line really is that we know right now in this dating world that we have a lot of people out there who are not respectful. And I hear from a lot of men that, women are not respectful of them and sleeping around. And I also hear from a lot of women that are the same way. And so it's very prevalent out there. The key is, guys, to me, is that first of all, you have to make the choice of who you really want to spend time with. And I would not waste my time on people who just want to have one night stands and basically just want to kind of build their body count. I would not waste my time with that. That doesn't really serve you. Now, I realize we're in this mentality, but the mentality of, well, it's great to, get excited, great to have your pleasure. It's a me generation, things like that, this type of thing. But to me, that's not a good thing. I'm gonna write this one down while I'm talking about this thing too. We've been in this me generation for a long, long time since I was a kid. People thinking about me instead of the overall picture. Well, the me is not helping, right? There's a lot of people depressed, a lot of people anxiety, a lot of people taking pills because they're not happy. And a lot of times they're unhappy is because they're not internally controlling themselves. They're not going for goals. They're not trying to be better. They're only looking at people as objects and saying, well, how can I fulfill my pleasures here or there? So if you're looking at a person's pleasure, you're never going to be satisfied. You might as well just, jack up your body count. But the 1% with me in this club know better. We know better than that. That's for 99% of the people out there. The 1% know that you should not be, releasing your energy. And because of that, you start looking at people not as objects. You look at people more as people. And now you can kind of look at their value to you, and they look at your value to them and say, is this a good fit? And do we continue, right? Now, chances are you're going to pick a person to be with that's going to be very positive, and that's going to be part of that if you're on your journey. Now, if you're not on your journey, those people, 99% of people are never going to see this because they're still looking at people as objects, so they're going from one person to another. And like the law of attraction, magnets, people attract to each other, okay? And the bottom line is that you're going to continue to get those type of people in your life that are attracted to you because you're in the high body count era where people just want to go ahead and sleep with people, right? And they have no problem with that. You're going to continue finding those people because they're around, just like everything else is around. But if you're on your journey, now you're looking for a whole different level of relationship, and those people will be attracted to you as well. And you'll be able to separate those out. So the first thing is, before we get to a second chance, the first thing is to make the wise choices of who you're going to spend time with. And I would not be spending time with several people at the same time. I just wouldn't. I mean, and I'm been married, so you look at it from a different perspective, obviously. But I would not be spending time with lots of people one time. I would find the one person, or maybe if you're just dating a couple people, find people who have these type of goals and ideas as you do, and find out the value. Find out who they are first. This is why I believe in the celibacy, and even before I got married, my wife and I decided that we weren't going to do anything until we got married. And that's really an old-fashioned type philosophy nowadays. It wasn't always back then. But there's a reason for that, because you got to know the person to figure out whether or not this is somebody you really want to spend time with. And really, is this person going to help with achieving your goals? And so my wife is a wonderful person, and I knew that she wanted to have kids and a family, and I knew her family was wonderful. So it was an easy call after a while. But I was 30 years old, so I was at the point where it took a while to find that person. But once again, I found this type of people in a different way because I went on a long, I went on a journey. It wasn't a long journey, but it was a journey enough to know what I was looking for. And so the thing is guys, you have to kind of know what you're looking for. And I think part of that is when you're on your journey, you figure those type of things out. Now, going back to the question again, do you give a person a second chance? I know a lot of people out there saying, no, don't give people a second chance, things like that. They're going to do it again. Well, once again, you go back to the original thing. If you're on your journey, and obviously you're going to be hurt, you're going to be angry at people, and those are emotions that are natural with people, men or women. But the thing is, you have to look at the positive and negative. If this person is someone who is a positive person who is bringing things to your life, and they make a mistake, well, that's one thing. And especially if you're invested in that person for a long period of time, I've had couples who separated, they were going to get divorced because one person cheated or the other person cheated, and they figured out that it was a mistake. Those things happen. Now, is the chances the person going to do it again? Well, there is. There's a chance that. But obviously the problem is not sleeping with somebody. The problem is what's happening in a relationship. And I think, again, let me go back to this again, guys, that males need to be males. I think sometimes when you get into a relationship, and it's easy in a marriage type of situation too, you're just happy to be married, and you're not being that strong leader, male leader you need to be. If you're the strong male leader you need to be, very few women will cheat on you. I've just seen that over the years. But the men who women cheat on, for the most part, from my experience alone, just observation and seeing things around me and talking to people, are the people that women have lost respect for the males because they're not that virile male anymore. They're not focusing on the balance between romance and assertiveness, right? Being assertive on one hand and then being romantic on the other hand. So there's a fine balance between that. And I think that's the key to when you're looking at this, is to focus on those type of things. And I was going to write something on my book here. But yeah, that's the key, guys. When you're looking at those type of things, those things all become important. So giving a person a second chance, I think you have to kind of look and saying, okay, that this person made a mistake. Can you move past that is the question. And I would say that a lot of that depends on the situation. I'm not going to say right away no, because there's situations where you can see, and I've seen it, where people can work things out, and it's more of an issue of the male not being a male, being more feminine, and a female being more masculine. And those things need to change. And if both people are willing to make those changes and getting back to the masculine energy and feminine energy, you're okay. But on the other hand, obviously, if you've seen a pattern of this behavior, and this is something where you just don't trust the person, or then it's time to move on. That's time to move on. But I would say you would have to give that some thought before you do that, because if you have more rewards than costs with this person, then you're losing something, even though you're basically kind of giving, the person is not, treated you well. And biblically, you can divorce the person, obviously, because of sexual immorality. Those things happen. But once again, I would say this to you, that God brought you back together for marriage, and they put two people together. The question is whether or not, this is enough to break it up. And I think too many people get divorced too quickly, and I think you certainly need to have marriage. I believe in marriage. I believe it's important, or else I obviously wouldn't be married myself. I think for kids especially, they need to have both their mother and father around, and I think that's a very important type of thing. And so I think you need to try to do that. I don't believe in getting divorced. That's part of my religious values. But I also believe that you have to be able to kind of be the type of person who's respected by your wife and the woman in your relationship. So, and women need to have someone that they can look up to and respect for a male as well. And I know some of this stuff is old-fashioned with this, but I think that's part of the problem we have in our society right now. We need a little bit more old-fashioned coming back, because I think we see too much of the liberal attitude people have, and not taking care of, worrying about their bodies. They're not worried about their relationships and worried about other people. They're concerned too much about themselves. And so you want to stay away from that, in my opinion, that me generation. I only care about myself, because that's going to destroy not only other people around you, but yourself. All right? So the question is, do you give the person a second chance? And I would say that depending on your goals and depending on the reason you're with that person, if you've made wise choices and you really want the person around, then I would say that decision has to be based on costs and rewards. Is it better for you to leave that person? Is that person creating you more problems than it's worth? And that's the question. All right, guys, hope that helps. And I can't give you a clear definition. Every situation is different. But certainly, hopefully I can shed some light on this ideas you can look at before you make a decision. All right, until next time, guys, battle on.